Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
What we're gonna do? Open up a multiversal romp in
Maybe.
With several different batsmen.
in the torrentverse.
The torrentverse.
Holy shit, that movie. It's out. It's out now.
It's out now
It's out.
as we speak. You
Yeah,
could be
the big
torrenting it.
premiere. The big
Yeah.
torrent premiere, everybody.
You could be torrenting it in your local cinema.
It would be amazing if at the premiere they showed a torrent.
Torrent.
It's like, how is that even possible? How did you torrent this?
Right.
It hasn't been out yet.
Yeah, every once in a while you can see like the shadow of somebody standing up and go like walking away.
Yeah.
There's
like
a commercial, an ad for
Chinese
slots
subtitles.
pops up.
Yeah, slots.
Oh, beautiful!
Oh,
What an
fuck.
interesting
The
theater that
future
would
of movies.
Yeah.
There is
Oh, it
going
is.
to be a movie theater like that in 10 years. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
be. Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Hypecast.
Hypecast.
It's a show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm a guest.
Cody.
Hey!
Hi, Cody. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me on.
How are you?
I'm so good.
Long time no see.
Long time no see. Half hour, 40 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Just
what you been up to?
enough time to torrent The Flash.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've been driving home, setting up my equipment to record this, and then immediately torrenting the Flash movie.
Yep. Yep. Legally, though, that's
yeah.
a joke.
Yeah, I was joking about my actions.
You'll see.
I've
You'll
never even
see.
heard of the Flash.
You see, one of the labels of this show is comedy, so everything we say is jokes.
It's true. Actually, I label these entertainment, which is I label
No,
our other ones comedy.
That's good for us.
I only did that because I felt like, why can't it be both entertainment and comedy? Why isn't comedy also entertainment? And so that's how that was.
No, that was good. That was a good instinct.
I don't know.
I feel like you covered our asses sufficiently by doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are comedy
Because
and
it's about
entertainment.
entertainment as well. Like, it's a very specific topic. Although,
Yeah,
the other podcasts are too.
exactly. See, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
They don't let you do multiples. It's whack and cringe
It is.
as opposed to ill and
And
base.
Based, yeah.
Yeah. Cody, what are you? What's your deal? What do you got going on? What's stuff you can tell the world?
Geez. The Flash, other stuff. Yeah, I got a show. I do shows. I got a show. It's called Some More News. I got another show called Even More News. I got a band, kind of technically. We're called the Hot Shapes. We rock and we roll and we do the news. And check it out. Google me for information. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Plug stuff. Good. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank
But also,
God.
thank you. Thank you for being on. That's also a thing people say in
Sure.
podcasts. Thank
Yeah.
you. And thank you for your plugins.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Happy
pluggies.
to
You little
plug.
pluggies. You little pluggies.
Yeah. Everybody check that out.
Yeah.
What else we got going on? What's everybody doing? What are we podcasting?
Yeah.
Podcasting, gaming, maybe.
Yeah.
In the future, in the past.
I made a mistake and I started playing Satisfactory again, and that game is just a time vortex.
Oh, it's that the factory simulation game, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
don't
just
do that.
it's just make things and put them into neat little boxes. That's it. To what end? No end. It's just
Well, the number
grab
goes up,
to-
right?
The number goes up.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Make
you
the
need-
numbers go up.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've been
Alright.
I popped in Breath of the Wild finally. I've never played that. And I figured it was time while everybody's enjoying Tears of the Kingdom. I'm enjoying it.
Good.
It's good.
We got Minecraft update. We
Minecraft
gotta
update.
get that.
Exactly. No Man's Sky constantly updating every month or two.
I've been playing that on the Steam Deck. Tom, what you got going on? What's your gaming?
Not much. I've been playing a little bit of Diablo 4 when I have time available.
I might play that on the Steam Deck. I'm liking the Steam Deck for things like casual games. I played, what is it called? Inside, that side scroller.
Yeah.
That was a solid game on the Steam Deck.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain games that I think, I feel like would be really, really good for that.
Oh, for sure.
Switchable games.
Yeah. Exactly. Good stuff. Good banter,
We
right?
love bantering about
This is great
games that
banter.
we are playing.
Yeah. Do we want to thank some
People
producers?
feel connected to us now.
Yeah.
We've gained
Well-
a little bit more of their trust now.
Right, we're just like them. We play games.
We do. We've been known
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that that bullshit's out of the
Yeah.
way, let's thank some producers.
do it.
And then we can talk about trailers.
Oh, boy.
So, clearing my throat, real natural like. Big thank you to @NerdNumbers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Zero Charisma.
Thank you.
Thank you to Aaron Burr, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you to AJ.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew Howe. Deck the halls with blood.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Barry Two Math wants you to go to the gym and drink water. Oh, and Sky's Life. Love y'all.
Pick it up. Pick it up.
Thank you to Bob Grenville.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let me swoop in here. Thank you to Bootler Bootlison.
Thank you.
Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Thank
Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
to Chester's Prophet.
I love you.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparks, Esquire.
Thank
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
You're great.
Thank you to David, the Ghost of East Las Vegas, Francis.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you to David, Knife Boot Hinson.
Knife boot. Knife boot. Okay.
Producers.
We're greased up. We got the producer lube
We're all
on
lubed,
us.
yeah. We got that Astroglide.
Yeah. And we got this first trailer for Elio. This is Pixar.
Yeah.
A
it's
Pixar
the
film.
New Pixar
Our
movie.
joint.
Yeah. Have
Something that, before we get started,
okay.
I saw the trailer for Elemental again, which is the one that comes out, I think, this week, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
It's the most recent Pixar one, and I still feel like this is totally a symptom of being an old guy. Like, Pixar is still new to me. Like, I still regard Pixar as like a new kid on the block. I'm like, oh, they have like, a handful of movies, and they're usually pretty good. And then I have to sit there and realize that they've been making movies for almost 30 years now.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
28 years. 28 years
Yeah.
since Toy Story.
Yeah.
They have a very large catalog.
They do. Way larger than I realized.
Yeah, and like movies where you're like, oh, that was a Pixar movie, or like, oh, that came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of not all the ratio is shifting.
Not all home run kings.
Not all home runs. Yeah. More stinkers popping up.
A lot of Cars 2 in there.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing is I haven't watched a few of the recent ones, so I don't feel equipped to really judge
I've watched
Pixar.
like two of the Soul and Onward were the last two I saw. I didn't see Turning Red, and I think that
And
was the
those
most
Saw
recent.
Luca.
Oh, I
Luca,
didn't
haven't
see
seen
Luca
Luca.
either.
I didn't care for it, but
That's the thing is I haven't really heard a lot of praise for them, and it almost feels like it's to make really like touching, amazing stories on a conveyor belt is really hard, right?
Right? They all.
So like.
What I'm hitting with Elemental specifically, and not necessarily with this one with Elio, which is the trailer we're about to talk about, but boy, a lot of them feel cookie cutter, right? They feel the same thing.
Right. They start being just like,
just the
I don't
same
know, what if
thing.
emotions were dogs?
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, write that down. We'll churn that one out. Where they found a formula, and the formula is supposed to be like touching and actually breaking out of a formula. But now they've kind of
Now
hit
it's
that
just a
track,
formula, yeah.
yeah.
which
So I am getting vibes of that from this. All of that is to say that I'm getting vibes of that from this trailer.
this is about a boy who gets abducted by aliens because his mother works on a top secret government project, and they confuse him with the world leader.
Yeah.
And he has to fake it to make it.
Well, also, if you caught it, Dave, it's actually the plot of the TNG pilot. He's being put on trial to represent Earth for its crimes.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're right.
So
there's I think this seems to be a little less elemental in the sense that like so many Pixar movies, and like this was a joke at one point, and then it sort of like slowly became true of like what if this talked, what if like these were people. And like that's fine, it's animation, you can do whatever, that's fun, what a fun thing to do, but like it does, like the elemental was like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Also using like elements as like an allegory for race is weird, because there's like it's like biological in the world that they're doing, but like it doesn't apply to the real world, so like what are you trying to say?
That's a common problem with sci-fi and fantasy, where they're like, what if we make an allegory for race and the races are completely different species? Whereas it's like, no, it needs to be like that Dr. Seuss stars thing, where it's like the idea is it's superficial,
not
and cultural, not that it's literally different species,
right? Or like water and fire can't mix because it makes steam. Well, yeah, that's just how the fucking world works. So yeah, it's a little weird. But Elio, I think, or Elio or whatever, it seems a little veered away from that, at least.
Yeah.
I have a theory of how this is going to go and what the message will be, and if it is, I'm really enjoying it. Which is that I think, because what you said, Tom, the idea that he's on trial for the crimes of the human race,
or rather,
I think
the Earth's on trial, and he's like they're representing
the Earth's on trial. Yeah, but I do think there's going to be this element of like, it's going to be kind of like we can't be expected to have the weight of the world on our shoulders. Ideas like climate change and massive inequalities and stuff, there's often this feeling of like we have to do something about it, but it's out of our power. And I wonder if they're going to explore that idea of like these problems that are so big that really can't come down to one individual, unless that individual's really rich or,
Right.
The president.
Yeah. But like, I think that seems like what they could do with this. I don't know if that will
they kind of touched on that a little bit in The Good Place too. Like just this sort of like, there's no like ethical consumption under capitalism. Like everything's so like you can't hold responsibility for that.
And that just feels like a Pixar message. Maybe I'm putting way too much on this trailer because it's a very quick trailer.
I feel I feel like that's probably true. The most of the vibe, to clarify what I was speaking about earlier, the Pixar vibe I was getting earlier is that it's just very jokey, which is fine. Like the vast majority of the Pixar movies are comedies, if not all of them.
And it's a trailer too.
And it's a trailer, so like it's just. I just saw
some sense of wonder also in the trailer. I felt like there's some magical sort of looking things that were neat.
And I get a little bit of like a Last Starfighter, or like I got like a positive like kind of 80s sci-fi vibe from it too, where it's like, oh, here's a bunch of these weird fucked up aliens that this kid is suddenly having to deal with, and that reminded me of like some cool movies that they don't really make as much anymore. So I'm generally on board for this one.
I mean, stuff the good okay, I love you, bye, or whatever. When the alien did it, that's cute. That's funny. All right, yeah.
And Brad Garrett alien talking about eating his mother.
I do have one, and this is, I'm sure they'll actually, hopefully they sort of like either address it or it doesn't matter in the actual movie. But like, I find this like such a grump. I find the premise to be unacceptable and unbelievable, because you have this like ultimate like council of like, oh, we're the most sophisticated aliens in the world, and we rule the universe. We have all this technology. We can beam creatures across the galaxies, and everything is made of magic. But we, for some reason, think that this kid is the leader of a planet that we don't know the name of.
How could they make that mistake?
That's a little absurd. And like, I know it's like a kids' movie's animated, maybe they deal with it, but like, there's just some stuff like that where I'm like, that's just so unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah,
and
it's also silly.
It's a tiny bit uncomfortable. Man, this may be going off the deep end a little bit, but like it reminds me of like the quote unquote crazy China stories where there's like a little bit of racism to it, because it's like Oh, well, like we would talk about a lot as we would get submitted these articles a lot at Crack to be like, oh, they put a dog in the zoo in China and people thought it was actually a lion because it was in the lion enclosure. It's like, well, no, they didn't. They all knew it was a dog in there.
Right.
It was a joke that they.
It was a joke that they put. So there's like an element of like, how could. Yeah, nobody would make this mistake. Like, certainly not
like.
Well, it's
the most advanced species in the universe. Who have this? Yeah.
It's an othering, right?
It's othering.
That's the idea. Yeah.
But
it's not.
It's
not specifically directed at anybody,
right?
Really,
it's like,
but it's like this general vibe of like other people are very dumb to very simple ideas, or they don't understand subtlety or something like that.
Sure.
Which we play with a lot with Aliens, but it also does feel like a cop out, especially when it's this idea, right? Where it's like it's not an alien landing on the planet who can be a dumbass. It's an organized group that is literally putting Earth on trial, and it's like, well, then you would know.
Wouldn't you know who the president is, and like all the UN,
and like you beamed them from across like here's light years and light years, and it's a little weird.
And I don't know. Maybe there's that they explain it. Maybe he's being the gamed.
Right. I was going to say Douglas. Maybe it's sort of a deception or something. But I remember watching the trailer and being like, "That's cute." Wait a second. I don't buy this.
Yeah.
That's honestly, I know it's a kid's movie, but that's something that me as a kid would go, I don't buy that.
Right. Well, right. It's not like, oh, it's a kid's movie. It's like, it's kind of insulting the intelligence of kids.
Yeah.
By thinking that like hundreds of advanced species would not understand, like even us and Oz, right? Like,
right.
I don't know. Yeah. They seem too ignorant to hold up the premise of the movie. But maybe it's cute. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Again, like I feel like I can't just go like Pixar is bad now because I just haven't seen some of their recent ones. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, maybe the recent ones were good or like one or two. But it does feel like they've hit this formula stride where they're like, okay, remember, there's got to be an allegory for a larger thing. It's got to be like dealing with death or love or some tragic. It's got to make them cry. You got to have a cry scene. Yeah. Do you have a cry scene in this one? Where it's like, and also they've hit a point where they're like, all the animation looks the same.
Yes.
Now. We're not going to try anymore to make the animation look different. So it does feel like kind of later Disney Renaissance where it's like that stuff there's still some good stuff in that era, but they are just sort of like
churning them out.
And it's turning them out a little.
It's also become uniform across the industry in the past 25 years. So it's not just that like every Pixar character kind of looks the same. It's every 3D animated movie looks like Pixar now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there needs to be. I think that's what the Spider-Verse they're hoping to be.
Yeah.
Which is at least a visual like a renaissance. But we've talked about this before. What they don't understand is don't make everything look like that now. Right. Just know that animation, it's so wild to me that animation, the whole, like the strength of animation is it has no boundaries. Yeah.
And we've all decided on 3 ways you can animate something in popular animation right now.
And that has nothing to do with CGI either, because we did that back with 2D as well.
Oh, right. Like that's TV shows, like animated television shows have that like look where it's like, it's all not even necessarily Family Guy-ized, but like there is this sort of like, oh, they're all just that now.
Yeah, we really
you can do whatever.
Back on it.
You can do something interesting and new, and it might not work, but it probably will because people will be like, oh, that's new and interesting.
Did you guys ever watch that Bob's Burgers episode where every new scene is animated differently by a different like guest animator?
No.
It's a really cool idea. That's cool. Because they're showing like the same character, same situation, but these wildly different styles to show like you could have done the show like this.
Yeah.
You could do a show like this. You could do it like this.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's really cool. But like, yeah, more of that. I don't know. Should we go to this next trailer?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, good luck to Elio.
Yeah. Good luck to Elio. And yeah.
What if they kill the kid in the first 10 minutes and dissect him?
Oh, the Brad Garrett alien just eats him?
Yeah. This next trailer is I think we covered an early trailer of this.
We covered this about a year ago.
Cloned, because it is called They Cloned Tyrone.
I'm still excited for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I continue to be psyched for this.
This movie looks real good.
From the writer of Creed 2 and Space Jam: A New Legacy, which isn't a hit against them. It's just I love this.
It's a mixed bag, you know?
Yeah. I actually thought Space Jam 2, for what it was well put together. This so something they're not telling you about this movie, I don't think. This movie has Kiefer Sutherland in it.
What?
According to IMDb.
What?
So I just want that you guys to know that.
I know that. That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he's billed as actor on IMDb.
Fuck.
Kiefer Sutherland as actor.
Yeah. The plot of this is awesome. I don't think this takes place in the 70s, but they're like dressed like 70s-esque.
Yeah. And
they are doing some sort of heist or crime, and they find a secret lab where Tyrone, their character, has been cloned. I feel like this is one where someone wrote down "They Cloned Tyrone" on a piece of paper. It was like, note to self, write a movie around that title.
Yeah. Solid title.
It seems like they're all, because it really seems like they're out of time. Did you guys get that vibe too? I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be the 70s or not. But
it was unclear.
It's unclear.
Right. A lot of the fashion and vibe is like 70s, but then also like it seems like modern day cars and like. So yeah, it's unclear.
It's hard to tell.
It's neat. I like when choices like that are made.
Yeah. And it just looks fun. It's Jamie Foxx has been doing more comedy, I've noticed lately, and he's good at it. It's nice to see him.
He was a stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
I know. That's why. That's like it feels like he was in Living Color, wasn't he?
Yeah, sure was.
Yeah.
And and that's the thing is like it felt like for a while we like forgot that he was funny, and now we're like, right, he's funny.
Yeah, go do that again. Yeah, his Trump impression is incredible.
Really?
It's really good. Yeah.
He saved it for like after he was already out of office, but like it is incredible.
And then John Boyega doing comedy is also because again he did Attack the Block, which was kind of a comedic situation. Like it's another situation. It's another thing where it's like I was scared he was gonna like go way too serious in his career, and he's having fun.
Yeah, it's a little mix. I will say, and this is actually true for a couple of these movies we're going to talk about, I think, is a kind of a bummer to see a couple of these trailers and go, oh, that looks really good. Oh, it's a Netflix movie.
Right. Is this also that?
Yeah, it's a Netflix movie. It's
distributed by Netflix. I don't know if they're going to do theaters or not. But yeah, like a lot of these, I'm like, that looks really good. Oh, people aren't going to watch this.
I've barely opened Netflix recently.
Right. But maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I will for this.
Yeah, I'll watch it because I'm aware of it now. But like, I wouldn't have been aware of it probably if it weren't for this show. And because Netflix is not very good at necessarily.
It's not.
Yeah, they're
it's not
gonna
at all
bury
about.
this.
About platforming their content. Like I remember the day Mank came out, which was their big Academy Award push that season. It was buried on my homepage.
Yeah,
right.
They just want it to exist. They don't really care if you.
I also wanted to call it that Tiana Paris is in this, and she's real good.
Mm-hmm.
She's
so good in this trailer.
Yeah, man, I'm just top to bottom excited about this movie.
Yeah,
this is a fucking.
It looks so good.
This is all-star.
We've been stoked on this for 15 months. Whenever it was, we covered the trailer initially.
I don't know. Still looks good.
Looks like the
Looks
director's
so
first
fucking weird.
movie.
Yeah,
it looks like it. Yeah,
couple TV shows. It looks really, really fun and good. I was like into it just because like the cast and like I was vibing with the
and the vibe of it's really cool. Yeah,
and then like the actual like plot was clear. I was like, oh yes, my shit, absolutely.
It gets like the trailer. Just watch the trailer. It gets so crazy. Just like. Yeah, completely unpredictable with where the story is going. So super into it.
Yeah. Well, let's keep it going then. Keep that hype train going for the new boy. Did he have? Does he have fire powers? Did I see him have fire powers?
I don't think so. I think he's just striking a flint in his hand at the end.
Okay.
Are you sure? Okay.
I'm not sure. I think it's meant to be a visual reference to like Prometheus. You know?
Yeah, I think so too.
Because
I really wanted
theme
him
of
to
the
have
movie.
fire powers.
But no. He has fire powers.
Right. Like
Yeah,
I was like
nothing-
watching, I was like, okay. It's like, wait a second.
Nothing in the description says he has fire powers. It just says that Kate Blanchett takes in a 9-year-old Aboriginal orphan boy. It says in a remote monastery run by a renegade nun. So maybe she's gonna shoot some people. Who knows?
I hope so. Yeah, maybe she'll be
Maybe
like
they're showing
machine
the trailer,
gun
but
preacher.
Maybe they're saving it.
Yeah. This looks like one of those movies that when you're a kid, your like parents put on and you're bored to tears. And you're like, oh, why would adults watch this? And now as an adult, I'm like, ooh.
It looks good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were
like
even some shots in the trailer. I was like, that's a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Ooh, this looks really good.
It looks.
But yeah, I had the same feeling of like, now's the time for me to want to watch this.
Yeah, I mean, look, it looks gorgeous for sure, and Kate Blanchett obviously is great. I usually am a fan of the movies she picks to do. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this. Like just the basic premise. It feels like it's like teetering on the edge of being a white savior story. But I don't know much about
I was
the
thinking
movie.
the same thing.
So,
but that's my
So
view.
I'd have to believe. I want to believe that like because an artist that I like a whole lot, Kate Blanchett is in it. That there's going to be more to it than that, or it's not going to be one of those stories. But I don't know.
That's kind of my
hard to tell from the
assumption. Is that I assume they understand at this point
Right,
the white
in
savior
the year of
is
our
a
Lord
trope.
2023.
Right, that's why
Yeah.
exactly the thought I had. I was watching it. I was like, this feels a little, but then I was like, surely they wouldn't do that. They could do that now. Like,
Right.
there's got to be something else going on.
I just going back to the dullness of it. I just always think it's funny. Like the child who's in this movie is probably making this movie, and like what this might become an Oscar-winning movie. He's spending the whole movie going like, "I wish I was in X-Men. This sucks."
yeah.
This movie. He's going to go to the premiere and be so bored at his own movie.
Yeah, just like stomping on popcorn on the floor.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, I it does definitely.
That would be the worst, wouldn't it? Like you're all excited to be in a movie and you see it and it's like the piano.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
Like,
I was in the
sucks.
piano.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in Jaws.
Yeah, exactly. Again, there's only one way to find out. Kate Blanchett, it's funny you mention it. Like she does have good taste, doesn't she? Like I'm
picks
trying
some
to think
weird
of a
stuff
movie she's in that
sometimes,
I don't like, but for the most part, she picks good movies.
Yeah, she
at
does.
least, yeah.
Yeah, it's not one I will run to the theater to see if it's even in theaters. I don't know if it's Netflix or not, but like it does look good, probably.
Yeah, it does. It does look good,
Yeah.
but it is very adult.
Yeah, very adult drama.
This gives me vibes of like a year from now they'll be like, and also for Best Picture, The New Boy, and we'll be like, the what?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I guess that was a movie. Like that's but probably very good. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep going to Special Ops Lioness. What the fuck is this name?
I don't know.
Is this part of something bigger?
I get it.
It's gotta be, right? Because otherwise, why did they call it that?
Yeah, why is it branded Special Ops? It's another I'm sorry, this is a Paramount Plus show, not a Amazon show.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's like another one of these. You pointed out in the notes there's like 10 CIA shows.
And they all look identical.
Well, yeah, like I thought this was like, what's that? Oh man, what's that?
Citadel?
Citadel, yeah, the impossibly expensive one. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're making a Citadel spin-off, like it's like Citadel Knights or something. And it's very funny because I don't think Citadel did very good.
Well, there's
and
also
they're like, we're spinning this month. I think it's one of those where they greenlit it before seeing if people liked
it's
it.
too big to fail, honestly. There's only 6 episodes of Citadel. Guys.
Jesus.
That's all they made.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like, okay, folks, without looking up the trailer, close your eyes and picture what a spy trailer is, right? Like muted colors, boardroom, boardroom shots. Michael Kelly is there because he's always there.
He's always in these.
He's in all of them. Morgan Freeman is there because there was a time where he was also always there. Everybody's like dead serious. There's a shot of Washington, like an aerial shot where it's like doom and going around. There's like from straight down aerial shots. There's people shooting at each other near like a car. Yeah. There's an explosion and a helicopter.
Screaming about justifying a drone strike.
Yep. There's like someone being interrogated. Strike, yeah. There's so goddamn many of these fucking movies.
Well, this is ultimate dad TV, Dave.
It is, you know what?
This is 24 for the 2023 conservative.
Well, it's that Taylor Sheridan guy, right?
Yes,
so it's
it
like
is.
the Yellowstone or whatever. So it is like peak,
Yeah.
like this is the slop you want, right? Not that it's like slop or poorly made or anything, but it's just like it's the kind of the same kind of thing.
Right. It's got Zoe Saldana. It's got Nicole Kidman as well.
There's good people in it, but
she's got like makeup. She's got some makeup on her. I think she said they're like doing a thing with. They're doing something to
CG
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this is gonna
seriously for like the shot. To go back. Sorry.
I'm sorry. This is gonna sound weird. Her face looks tiny.
They're doing.
They did something.
They're doing
with
something.
Hair or makeup where she looks almost like a Dick Tracy villain.
I was gonna say. I thought it was like a Dick Tracy moment. It was so weird.
I think they're trying to make her look plain to be like, look, it's a serious role. But by doing that, it looks like they did something to her. I don't know why.
It's like in the hours when they gave her a fake nose. We're like, we all still see Nicole Kidman. You're aware of that,
right? She's still a gorgeous actress. It's
like she's not disappearing into that.
Right,
I mean, she is with the performance, but not with the facial prosthetic. Anyway.
Yeah. And again, there's Michael Kelly, head of the GI Joes.
Yeah.
That's a little
grumbling about having to blow himself up to kill a bunch of zombies.
Yep.
Remember that? Remember when he was in Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was great in that. Or I was going to say doing dirty work for Kevin Spacey, which is pretty
House
bleak
of
now.
Cards. Oh, man.
He was the best part of that show.
That's true. Yeah.
He's great. I love Michael Kelly. He just like came out of nowhere. Well, sort of, because again, like you point out, he's in Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, he was just a supporting guy for a long time.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, you got the look of this guy who's in all these kinds of things. So
he's also one of those guys who like was just suddenly old, like Jeff Bridges. Where he's like he was young, and then one day he was just old.
Like opened up the bag of old. Like, shit, I got old on me.
It's all over me.
Damn it.
But so in the sense of like spy stuff, I love a good dad film.
Sure.
I love a good spy stuff. But I need more. And what I mean by that is like I like Jack Ryan because he's like, I'm an analyst until he's not, and then he gets boring. He gets boring when he's just a badass. Mm-hmm. Or like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. That was a great example of what I like.
Oh, I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
Oh, I was just going to say, I like spy shit, and this is, I guess, more like special ops or Marines or something, but so maybe this isn't trying to be that, but it's like, to make this interesting, it's more fun when it's like not that many fucking murders where it's like deceit. The Little Drummer Girl on AMC was really good for that. Or
like,
again, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, where it's like
Patriot
intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where it's like
intrigue
one
and
or
like
two murders, and they're trying to figure out where Sean Bean is.
Yeah,
not just the non-stop like action thriller kind of thing.
I think I figured it out. For me, anyway, the issue with this trailer, or what seemed so tired about this specific trailer for Special Ops Lioness, is that it's just the beats. Did you guys notice that? It's like a minute, 15-second trailer. It's a pretty short trailer, and it's just all of the beats. Like it plays like, if you guys remember that Britannic sketch where it was like every Academy Award winning movie ever. And it's just them doing the beats that they play, the trailer beats from every Oscar-winning movie. That's exactly what this trailer plays like.
Right,
it's
because
just
they're like...
You disobeyed the orders. It was on TV. We got to get our people out of there. We had to make a split-second decision. You can't tell me it was wrong. You know, like, it's all of the beats that we expect from, like, a dad spy movie, Tom Clancy type thing. But they don't actually tell us what like the story is or the context or who any of these characters are. They're just hitting us with the greatest hits. So like, you're gonna get all this stuff you love in all the other movies.
They're just like, here's the slop. Take the slop.
Exactly.
You know it. You love the slop.
Slurp it now.
Yeah. Slurp it through your teeth.
It feels like a sketch. Like it has the pace of a sketch.
Yeah, really high budget sketch.
Yeah.
Like the kind of sketch that would get someone fired.
Right. It's like, what are you? This isn't even funny. It's just a.
Yeah. Why did you do this?
Yeah. Why do you
God,
get
we spent how much money on this?
Doesn't even look like herself. What are you doing?
Yeah. Is that Morgan Freeman? How'd you get Morgan Freeman?
What you do to Nicole Kidman?
So why is she looking?
What did you do to her?
Wait, so is the boss Batman in this?
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
that's the sketch. See,
That's the sketch.
That's the sketch.
you zoom out and then Batman's running Netflix. And
Yep. Yeah, fuck it. Any other thoughts on Special Ops Lioness?
No,
I
God,
barely
damn.
had one.
Yeah, it was a lot. It took a lot of might to muster that one thought that I had.
It
But
really does.
it's just gonna I keep forgetting Citadel exists, and Citadel is full of good people, just like
Yeah.
this is. So it's like, man, I wish these people, like these talented actors and filmmakers and producers, and all this money would come together to make something that's I actually want to watch.
Yeah.
Right. Any one of these
Like-
might be good, but I'm not willing to take that chance of sitting down and watching them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. I also. I mean, this is personal. These just things aren't my bag. So like, I
Right.
will never really be interested in watching a thing like this unless it's like very new or very interesting, or like there's something about it like, oh, I
Yeah.
gotta watch that. It's like this, all this. It's like same with like cop procedurals. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I can't. I couldn't possibly.
Yeah, yeah. Unless it's like The Wire or Cop Rock, it's
Exactly,
not. It's
yeah.
like it's like I need I need something.
Yeah, give me the shields,
Besides,
but don't give
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. I need some kind of spice in there. Yeah, for sure. If they were all
Speaking-
singing in Special Ops, if it was cop rock,
Oh, yeah,
Oh
exactly.
yeah.
Special
Nicole
Op Rock.
Kidman
Special
with
opera,
a weird
special.
face. Special opera.
I was just Cody,
Special
magnificent
opera.
bastard. I was trying to get it out.
We got a show. We got a show now. So get back to us about that. Paramount.
Yeah. Email.
I'm sure they
Email
will.
us.
They have our information.
Email the
Yeah.
address.
Yeah. All right. Next trailer.
And make
Till
sure.
Death.
Also, sorry. Make sure to give me credit for the title that I definitely swooped in and stole from Tom. He was
Special
obviously
opera.
going to say that.
Special opera by Cody, not by Tom.
Thank
Right.
you.
That'll be the name. Yeah. Okay.
Rolls
Till
off the
Death
tongue.
do us part.
Uh,
Sorry, I interrupted.
yeah. No, you're fine. You're fine. This next trailer.
Everything's fine.
Till Death Do Us Part, otherwise known as Ready or Not also.
Yeah. But also with Orlando Jones. And I don't know what they were supposed to do about this, but I felt like they needed to say, like, and we have, look at, it's Orlando Jones.
They really kind of hid him from us in
Yeah,
the
that
trailer.
was weird.
Yeah. I was
Like,
like, that's Orlando Jones.
I wasn't sure I saw him until the
Yeah.
end screen came up and his name's in the credits. I was like, oh shit,
Right, they're a
they're-
bunch of strangers, and then like, but
And then-
Orlando
yeah.
Jones is right there.
right. It's a bunch
As
of
like
like
a murderer.
yeah, it's a bunch of actors I don't recognize, and then Orlando Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. The plot of this, it does feel very Ready or Not. It's slightly different.
Extremely
The plot,
Ready
from
or
what
Not.
I can tell, is a bride is backing out of a wedding where I don't know, for whatever reason, she can't back out because she knows too much.
She's marrying like a gangster, basically.
Yeah, I assumed a gangster or like,
Or like
even a
Hitman or
government
something,
person.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it seemed
something.
very much like that mixed with like Mr. and Mrs. Smith too.
Yeah.
You know.
But it feels very forced. I don't know. Because they're just like, nah, I guess we got to kill her. Or at least that's how the trailer makes it out to be. Like the groom doesn't seem to care. No one seems to care. And then she's also clearly a badass.
Mm-hmm.
So I also am like, well, if they're both like assassins or spies or something, why can't she just not do the wedding? I assume
Right.
he's also like, I don't know, but it's her basically fighting off in a wedding dress all these dudes in suits. And I know I think what it is it's a martial arts action movie that they dressed up.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what it is.
With a little bit of it seems like there's a lot of, like gruesome violence, or like that's what they're going for a
Yeah,
little bit.
it's-
that they're not
Yeah.
showing because it's Final Destination people. It said in
Yeah.
the trailer. So
Mhm.
like I feel like it's like this, sort of mixing genres and just trying to like, what if there's that part in the trailer where she like stabs him in the dick or whatever.
Right.
Stuff like that, and an excuse to have all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kills
and
a guy
it's
with a
not-
chainsaw at one point. So yeah, maybe it's more like You're Next, which is also pretty similar to Ready or Not. But I just said Ready or Not because she's literally in a wedding dress the entire
Right.
Yeah.
trailer.
it's definitely like 3 or 4 years too late.
Yes.
You know, it's just like, oh yeah, we did do this a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I honestly, yeah, I can't tell the vibe too much because it's not the director of Final Destination, for the record.
No,
it's like maybe a producer.
Right. Right.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah. There's also this thing about it where like it's hard from trailers often because it might not show everything. But like you mentioned, like the husband, didn't seem interested or care. And I feel like they're cutting out a lot of, or maybe this is not in the movie, it's not a very good movie, but like there doesn't seem to be any tension between the bride and the groom. It just seems to be like, oh, the groomsmen go and try to kill her, and then she fights them. Like, I don't know what that dynamic is, so I'm just less interested in the movie because I don't know the actual like drama going on.
Yes.
Right. It's hard to tell what the tone is. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, the groom is played by Officer Alex Shaw from Speed 2 Cruise Control, otherwise known as Jason Patrick.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So we got a movie now, but
now we're cooking.
Yeah. But it is like they didn't do a good job at giving us a hook because they thought the hook was check out she's a bride, she's beating people up, and it's like we've seen it.
Right, they thought the hook was the thing that we've all seen, so it's not hooking us.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
We're swimming around in the lake, and we're like, wait, I've seen that hook. I'm not gonna bite that. I saw Gary bite that. Now he's dead.
Exactly.
That's a fish thing, right? That's what
there's a bunch of fish sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting that like even with a hook like that, like a woman in a wedding dress has to violently fight 7 evil groomsmen. It's still not clear what the tone of the movie is.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh man, this could go in a couple of directions.
Yeah. But I don't know. It looks fine. It's also, I don't know. The name "Till Death Do Us Part" is so obvious. You know, like it's just.
I can't even say that it looks fine because like all the stuff, like the over the top gore that they're sort of teasing us, isn't particularly inspired. Like there wasn't a moment that made me go like, "Oh," like.
Right. No. Yeah. Watching the trailer, I was like, "Oh, they're going for this," but it's just blood splattering.
Yeah.
Like there was not even like a move, or like some. Yeah. There was nothing interesting or.
Yeah. Because if you're not going to be first, then you better be good, you know. Mm-hmm. And you guys are right. I didn't really get much out of this.
It just feels derivative, not even just derivative of Ready or Not, but mostly of that. It's just
it seems like a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is. It's exclusively in theaters. But yeah, it seems like a Netflix movie from like 3 years ago or something. Right.
Well, let's talk about this next trailer because I really want to talk about this next trailer because this next trailer really, Landscape with Invisible Hand.
Mm-hmm.
This is apparently based off a book. This is an R-rated movie. Throwing that out. And then
really?
also, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't think the trailer was gonna go in. I mean, they kind of want you to not think that, but this trailer just got real fucking weird, real fucking fast.
Right away,
What's going on here? It's like a teen dating thing, and then they stick these like little dildos to their heads that don't. I gotta say, it's the prop itself. It looks like kind of weird, a little cheap.
Yeah.
And then we learn that they're like dating as a reality program for aliens. A bureaucratic alien species that's going to sue them because they're not in love.
Yeah,
did I get that right?
More or less. Yeah,
and the aliens are weird little floppers. They're flopping around.
They looked a little cheap too, at times, but like they're floppy and cute and weird. But yeah, it's like aliens come. They make the premise is basically that the alien species that has come to Earth doesn't experience human like romantic love. So they think like love as we experience it is like this very like special, fascinating thing. So they pay people to document them falling in love so they can watch that experience because they don't know what that emotion is.
Interesting.
And then the kids, it becomes clear like, oh, you're actually kind of faking it for the show. You're not really in love, or you were, but like you fell out of love, but you want the views and the money or whatever. And there's like a line in it of like, but we like, is he gonna sue them for lying? But then
Breach
they're
of
like, but
contract,
we already spent all that money to live. So it seems like this weird thing of like, not weird, but like they're also talking about just like how to survive in like a sort of like hyper capitalist, like entertainment obsessed society in a way or something.
Well,
I don't know.
I related to this just I don't know if this is what they're intending, but just from what we all do, where it's just like you're monetizing every aspect of your private life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so the
what
hook for me,
what do you do when you're not in love with that person anymore?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. The hook for me is the fact that this is co-written and directed by Corey Finley, who is the writer-director of a movie called Thoroughbreds. I don't know if people have seen Thoroughbreds.
I still haven't. Yeah,
fucking rocks.
I saw that note in the doc, and I immediately watched that trailer. It looks so good.
Thoroughbreds is about two young girls. It's kind of a Heather's vibe, where one of them is a actual sociopath, like a diagnosed sociopath. She does not feel emotions. I think that's the term. Apologies if it's not. But what's interesting is it doesn't go the way you think. Of course it doesn't, because it's a good movie. Right. And it explores like morality and this very interesting way. And so you're bringing up these aliens don't feel love. That's very much a similar theme in Thoroughbreds. I think this movie, just based on who's co-writing it and directing it, is probably going to be really fucking interesting.
Yeah.
And again, rated R. This person also did Bad Education, which was like a HBO that fucking Hugh Jackman thing that I didn't see, but now I got to see it. But they haven't really done anything else. So this is one of those trailers where when I first saw it, I was like, okay, that's really fucking weird, but sure, that could be, because it's weird, that might make it good. You know, I like weird, I like original, but then knowing that it's the person who did Thoroughbreds, I'm like, well, fuck, I'm gonna have to see that.
Knowing that it's rated R, I'm like super on board now. I didn't realize that, because it doesn't seem like that. It seems kind of twee and like more of like a charming, like, oh, it's like a little love story kind of with aliens, and it's kind of, you know, but I don't know how this could be rated R. Right. It seems like the trailer is probably showing like the first act or something, or like, you know, not really what happens. I don't know. And again, it's based off a book, so I'm sure there's people out there who know the answer to what this is, right? It's just I don't know. There's more to this. There's definitely more to this
this is, I've not read the book, but like kind of like from the premise, which is a little Black Mirror-y, which honestly initially turned me off a little bit. Until the full trailer played out. But like the premise combined with like the title, Landscape with Invisible Hand, has me thinking about like the aliens just want to enjoy the show for what it appears to be. They're not interested in what it actually takes to make it, or what it actually takes to make a relationship, or what actually goes into being in love with somebody. Because I think, if I remember from my art history classes in college, that means you can't see the brush strokes. I think that's what that means. I could be wrong. So somebody please correct me, but I think that's what that means. But
that makes sense. Yeah,
it seems to make sense, at least with what I am inferring the theme of this movie to be. So that's interesting to me. That's something I think about a lot myself. Where we just sort of take snapshots of relationships as we go through life, rather than really thinking about what all has gone into that relationship to create it and to maintain it, and et cetera, et cetera. So I started out not really being on board with this trailer, because like you guys said, it felt a little twee, it felt a little Black Mirror-y, it felt a little obvious. But then like the more the trailer went on, I was like, oh, okay, this seems like obvious at first, but it's actually getting at something a little bit deeper and maybe a little bit more profound, without really a specific answer or a satisfying like point of view to it. It's just sort of like an existential kind of question, you know?
Right. It's one of those things where sometimes the weirdest films are hard to market.
Yeah.
Where like this feels like one where they're like, because I'm looking at reviews and people like one review saying this is the most unpredictable film I've seen in a long time. Another one saying is a look back on humankind's dark heritage, and I'm like, what? What does that mean? One's talking about how it's about the economic fallout of an alien invasion, something we don't think about, like the idea of like how our commerce would work with them. So it feels like it's a very. I think this is going to be just a really fucking weird one.
I think so. Even looking at the some book quotes are about the book. Like it seems like it's mostly vignettes. The book is mostly vignettes. And like they're very short. Also it describes it as an alternately sorrowful and biting takedown of free market economic philosophy.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
I can see that in
Which
the trailer.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious how much of the trailer is actually like the bulk of the movie, or if it's like we're kind of just seeing like little snippets of the larger film.
I don't know, man.
It looks really good and interesting. Now that we've talked about it more, I'm like even more excited about it, actually.
Yeah. Me too.
I do like that Josh Hamilton is getting a second career as befuddled dad of a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Like this movie in 8th grade.
I forgot.
Yeah, he's the dad in 8th grade.
Yeah, just fucking completely
Doesn't
lost.
know what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. You're so scared for him in 8th grade. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying his best.
And it appears that this is not Netflix, but rather you will be able to see it in a movie theater in August.
Woo!
Huzzah.
Yep.
What luck.
Speaking of things you'll be seeing in a movie theater, this next one's coming out, I think, in July, and it feels so soon. Cobweb. This is the American. There's actually a Japanese film called Cobweb coming out too. I think it's Japanese. It might be. I don't know. This is a horror movie. Personally, my journey here was I was watching the trailer and it looked like a cookie cutter, and then after a while I was like, wait a second. I feel like this person knows what they're doing. So I looked them up, and it's the fucking director of Marianne on Netflix. Have people seen Marianne?
No.
I've seen the first episode of Marianne. I haven't finished the series. Oh, I've seen the first 2 episodes, actually.
Okay, I watched that whole series. Marianne is one of these horror series that like truly made me feel uncomfortable. And I will say it's not like heady. It's not all jump scares, but it's just that same like it's all the same old tricks. It's a haunted house, but it's a very good one. Mike Flanagan is another example of that, where it's like, we're doing jump scare. Oh, well, Mike Flanagan, I think, does some more like existentially terrifying concepts. He's more Stephen King-y, right? Where he'll do these ideas. But you know what I'm saying? Where it's like they're just a very fucking good visual horror director. Where you're like, I haven't seen that before, and that's terrifying. And so that's all to say, this is probably going to be very fucking well made.
This is an excellent trailer.
Yeah. It is a very good trailer. But like you can sort of notice the little visual things. Like, for example, that hallway shot with the woman, she's doing like Babadook hands. Mm-hmm. And it's like little things like that where you're like, ooh, you know how to make like a trope kind of just stand out a little more in a really creepy way.
Goofy smile, kind of like the tone. Yeah.
Have you can you guys guess what story it's based off of? Based on that trailer? Because it is based off a true story.
Oh, is it based on like a fairy tale?
It'll make sense when I tell you.
It's based. I felt like it was based off of like Bluebeard.
It is based off the Telltale Heart, according to the trivia.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because the trailer is not hiding the fact that at least Homelander killed someone, right?
Well, it seems like Lizzie Kaplan's in on it too, which is one of my favorite things this trailer does. Is it starts out with her tucking the kid into bed, and it presents itself for the first 30 or 40 seconds as a very typical kids hearing spooky noises at home. mom's not sure what's going
Making
on.
scary
Comforting
drawings.
her.
Yeah, like
Or
mom's
comforting her.
trying to go around and figure out what's happening, but like halfway through the trailer, it becomes clear that, man, it really seems like mom knows what's going on, and then it gets worse where it's like, oh, mom and dad are hiding something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's
the repeat of no more nightmares from
Yeah.
both of them. It's like, oh god, all right, that poor
Yeah.
fucking kid.
Yeah, it's really good horror movie idea, which is like, what if your house is haunted, but your parents are like, don't fucking rat on us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
made
yeah.
that ghost.
We made that
You shut up,
ghost, yeah.
kid. Where it's like, this kid has nowhere to turn. But like this teacher or something, which I assume is going to be the actual good person in it. But yeah, it's,
Oh yeah, that was nice seeing her. It's Erica from Last Man on Earth. If anyone
okay.
is a fan of that show.
yeah, great cast in this. Anthony Starr, it's going to be really hard for him not to play villains. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think for the next 20 years, he's going to be typecast.
It's going to be
Yeah,
tough for him
he's
to
just
do a
real
role
good
that's
at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He's
not
got that smile that you just can't love. You know.
Right.
It's that simmering rage. It's all in his
Yeah.
face. Like
Mhm.
it's like he'll start to do that twitch where his like it's man, if you've seen The Boys, everybody already knows. So
Yeah. But I think this is going to be special. Everybody go watch Marianne. I've said it before. Which again, Marianne, I don't remember it being a particularly original story. Although I will say this feels original. Cobweb. It feels like a good twist on a familiar story.
yeah.
But for me, it was just about wonderful execution of visual horror and visual tension too, like the lead up to it, where you're just like that show was one of those where I'm just like, I don't want to be here. I want to go home. I don't want to watch this. This is making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I hate it. And so like, it's always nice to see that when that happens. So I have a feeling this is going to be a fucking a fun watch.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, and it's coming out in July. It's just they're just dumping
yeah.
this on us.
Ew,
they
it's
are.
actually it's
Damn.
produced. Two of the producers are Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who
Oh, interesting.
also produced The Boys.
Yep. Yeah, that checks out. And like I was waiting for this because Marianne, I believe, is I don't know what country it's out of. Not it's
Spain, I thought, or was
Yeah.
it? Oh shit, I can't remember now.
I don't know. They also, by the way, this director made a Batman.
It's French. I'm
Ashes
sorry.
to Ashes director.
It's a French show.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's French. Samuel Bodin, which I'm sure there's like some French way of saying that. But this is all to say, like after watching Marianne, I was like, well, this person's gonna make a horror movie in America next, right? Like they better. Someone's fucking, scooping them up.
Yeah, or dropping the ball by not scooping him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks so good. The trailer is extremely well made, and I don't know, there aren't a lot of like really well made horror trailers these days. They all
Yeah.
kind of have the same kind
Yeah.
of beats, the same. It all feels very samey, but this was a ride.
Right. Again, it's not reinventing anything. It's kind of like, I don't know, The Night House or, Caveat, where it's like, it's a haunted house story. It's probably not going to be, The Sixth Sense. It's not going to do anything we haven't seen before. It's just going to do it really fucking well.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Cobweb.
There's a couple of moments from Caveat I will never forget. So
Yeah, Caveat has also those moments where I'm like, do I have to be here? I would like to
I don't want to
leave.
be here. I would like to leave right now.
Yeah, please. All right. Well, shit. That's our trailers.
Man, we
Should
did
we
it.
thank some
I
producers?
think
Yeah.
we should. Yeah.
All right. Big ol' thank you to Deborah. Deborah is awesome. Barbara is great, and cancer can go to hell. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dracula, the best driving vampire.
Toot
Thank
toot.
you. Thank you to Driftless, aka Gooch Cock.
Gooch Cock.
Thank you. Thank you to E.T., the extravagant terresticle.
Thank you.
Thank you to Evil Ed 209.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you.
Thank you to Funky J Mostly Comes Out at Night. Mostly. Thank you to Glitterous, CFO of Michael Shannon's Chocolate Factory.
Thank you.
Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Hombre, the Mexican-American ninja, says, Mabel, step on me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to ImpossibleWorlds.net. Issue 1 is now free. Issue 2 releases in June. Thank you.
Thank you.
That plug. Thank you to James Cameron's Prolapse Locomotive.
Thank you.
Thank you to Chris Shanovich.
Thank you.
Thank you to Look Mom on a podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick. Chill.
Yes.
Thank you to Mercurial Oz.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thanks.
Thank you to musical guest Rob Ritchie.
Thank you.
Thank you to No One Can Hear You Scream in Space McNulty.
Thank you.
And thank you to Norm from Cheers.
Thank you. Okay. We got news stories. Less fun than the trailers. Disney's delaying its Marvel schedule and the Avatar
The
sequels.
Avatar's getting delayed is like a practical joke at this point.
Yeah, Zoe Saldana was like, what did she say? She was like, I'll be 57.
She'll say I'll be 53. She said I'll be 53
Yeah.
when it comes out.
Oh, my God.
Was,
I mean, writer's strike.
yeah, she was in her 20s when that first movie was released.
James Cameron will be in his 70s.
James Cameron will be damn near 80 by the time that last one drops.
Yeah. Assuming there won't be another pandemic.
Right, or another writer's strike, or aliens might show up and demand that we film our love for them.
Yeah, exactly. And then, Marvel, of course. I mean,
who cares,
and the Star
honestly,
Wars.
about
Well, the Marvel ones are. I mean, it's funny because they're kind of lucky in a way because of the writer's strike, because they were going to do this anyway. They knew that they were making bad movies and too many bad movies, and they needed to slow down the number of movies they made and try to actually make good movies again. You know, your mileage may vary obviously on like the quality of these movies, but being able to like, well, we got a delay because of the writer's strike. No. You were making bad movies. And
so
it's like
pause.
That was their stated like mission for Star Wars last year. Like they said the same thing, like in much more diplomatic words, but they basically said we're making shitty movies. We got to slow down the number of movies we're making.
It was, stop focusing on quantity and start focusing on quality.
Right, so it's
so
like
lesson learned, I guess. But like, why did you need that lesson to be learned?
It's like someone pulling the fire alarm when you have to take a test. You're like, whew. It's very funny because before that they were like, we're doing one a year. Into oblivion. Let's do this. And it's very funny that a few years after that they're like, on second thought.
Well, it's
maybe no.
So I think this is true. I'd have to. I'm pretty sure this is true. I might be a couple off, but I'm pretty sure that there have been more canceled Star Wars movies now than there have been actual Star Wars movies that have come out.
There might be,
because they keep canceling all these projects. So like them shifting the release date of these Star Wars movies is so meaningless. I'm like, I never believed any of these were going to come out anyway.
Yeah,
right.
So you're telling me that they won't not come out for 2 more years? It's like, oh,
Lucasfilm. They're a real dirtbag roommate who keeps promising to like do chores. Where you're like, sure, man, sure, sure, you'll put out, sure, you'll, you got a Taika Waititi Star Wars, I bet.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Because also, that Taika one, he's just like, he's saying like he's still in the writing process, probably because he keeps turning in scripts and they keep giving tons of notes, and he's probably disheartened. I mean, I don't know if that's for sure, but maybe Maybe he's just taken a while, but it really feels like this is there used to be a time where studios would just like focus on what's directly ahead of them for the most part. And I think like this is part of the problem, right? Is like they're not technically doing anything wrong. Shit happens, stuff gets delayed, but because they called their shot like 10 years in advance, have planned Avatar 6, it's like, I got an idea. Maybe just focus on 2,
this is,
and then once 2 is done, focus on 3.
To be clear, these release dates and press releases, these are for their shareholders. This is not for us.
Yes, that's true.
Right. But that's the issue with again, like it's like I don't want to blame everything on Marvel, but like it's the Marvelization of so many aspects of the entertainment industry, and because they would do this fun thing when they made fewer movies where they'd be like, here are the next 5 movies that we're going to make, and we're going to make a big thing out of it. We're going to go to Comic-Con. You're going to see the logos on screen and the timeline. And some of these movies are already in the can, so it's safe for us to say that this movie is coming. Whereas
they did
now
it like
they're
like it's an Apple release, like product release.
right,
do
they
these
have
big
have them ready, and then
events.
eventually we're gonna do Avengers and so on. But now it's like we're doing Avengers Secret Wars in 8 years, and everybody's gonna be in it. And it's like, well, by forcing yourself to always have some big announcement, like they always have to have the big slate to show everybody. We want to see the logos, right? We got to see the logos on the timeline. And I think because everything, like with sequels and anything, it balloons. It's just going to balloon no matter what. You have to have this constant growth. So then, then the next announcement has to have more movies. We only did 6 movies last time. We got to announce 8 movies this time. And now we're seeing just sort of the effect of like, well, we should probably like wait for a few of them to be made before we announce them.
Yeah. And like Marvel had a little more advantage because they had comic books where they're like, yeah, we know where the story can go.
Right.
Whereas like Avatar, what if James Cameron sits down and finishes writing 4 and goes, you know what, this is actually a good place to end it. Mm-hmm. Like, why can't it end here? Yeah. No, we can't. We have we have at least 2 more planned. Like, it's just like, figure out the story where it's going. Don't call your shot that you make it fucking 6 of them.
Yeah.
And like, even with Marvel, it's similar where it's like, even if they have source material, it just still feels like exhausting. And then, one little fucking thing, and it all, the ripple effect where it's like, suddenly everything gets delayed. I don't know. Yeah. And Disney is now the lord of this with Star Wars as well, where they're trying to do that is also like, good God, exhausting.
Right, where like the Mandalorian's going to lead into the heir to the Empire, which has to do with the tales of the Jedi or whatever it is they're going to do. And I just, I love things that connect in serialized ways. Television is good for that. Movies, sometimes it works, but just make something good. And we'll go see it. The Guardians of the Galaxy 3 had nothing to do with any of the bullshit going on around it. And it was very good. They just made a good story.
Just make a good story. It feels like, the offices, they must have like conspiracy boards up, linking everything together where they're like, and this is going to go into this, and this will go to that. And when you're thinking that way, it's really easy to forget to make a good movie. Ant-Man 3, good example, where it was like, it was just all setting up. It was just all like, we need to make this villain a thing and tell us his background and do all this shit. And they forgot to like make a movie and all of that. It's just exposition for later things.
Yeah, well, we know we're going to do the Kang Dynasty, so we got to make sure that this guy is the guy. It's like, well, this is called Ant-Man. Make it about the guy. Like,
and he's going to be the guy for a long time. What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
With choosing your entire like slate of stories you're going to tell based off a single actor.
Yeah.
What a weird way to run anything.
Yeah.
Also, and this is I have to mention. I don't know if I've mentioned beyond a tweet before that I probably deleted, but like, it's my favorite thing. I know we're not going to talk about The Flash, which is fine. Beyond the fact that jokingly I'm torrenting it. The Michael Shannon came out and was like basically like, yeah, it wasn't that satisfying doing this. I don't know, these multiverse movies, they kind of just seem like banging a bunch of action figures together. And I love this quote because yes, it does. And good for you, Michael Shannon, for saying that you didn't have like feel fulfilled doing this. But the shot that Marvel called for this big like saga that they're doing is going to culminate in something called Secret Wars. And for any comic fan out there, you know what Secret Wars is. It's very, there was a good version in I think 2015, 2016, but the original version in the 80s was literally a deal made with Marvel and Mattel because they wanted to sell action figures to kids and have as many action figures and characters in the same story as possible so they could sell plastic garbage to children. And they did focus testing on kids, and they found out, well, kids respond really well to the words secret and war. So they wrote Secret War with as many characters as they could, and now we're in this fucking world where there are all these adults like, just like, I can't wait for the Secret War, the action figure movie. And it's just I just love it. It's so funny to me that like, that's like the culmination of all these movies is just knocking action figures together, and like not in a way where it's like, that's what they're doing. No, that's literally what it came from, and I love it.
Oh yeah, it's all like these things were made. Yeah, it's the same with like Ninja Turtles, where it's like it was made by two stoned guys who are making like a Daredevil spoof, and then it's like it spun off into an empire, and they're like, Jesus,
right? And you can make
all
good
right.
stuff.
I mean,
out of that.
okay,
like you can do
yeah,
good stuff.
absolutely. It's just funny, like the reference sometimes that gets put on things. That's just like, the creators never had reverence for it.
Yeah.
Secret Wars was just a thing they threw together, and now this, you know.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I love it. And like all these like
It's pretty great.
all these like very professional like Hollywood actors and like coming back and like I'll be in the action figure movie.
Sure. How many $1 million you giving me?
I'll show up and do a scene for that.
All right.
I love it so much.
$4 million. That's
great.
enough for the toy movie, I guess.
It's so good.
Meanwhile, at Warner Brothers, a few things they're doing. They're trying to re-court Christopher Nolan. Smart move.
Mm-hmm.
Seems weird that they would let him go. Yeah. And they're working on rebooting Lord of the Rings. They're already visiting Peter Jackson and like making the deals, which is a bummer.
It's such a weird bummer.
I love how they're publicizing that they're speaking to Peter Jackson.
Well, you gotta. Yeah. That makes it okay, right? That means it's gonna be good.
It's like, did we forget the Hobbits? But also, like, that man doesn't want to make any more Lord of the Rings. He can't. Mm-hmm. He can't.
He's not gonna.
He might. No, he might slap his name on as an executive producer, but.
Yeah.
He spent 5 years hiking around New Zealand, and he was like, "Okay, every movie from now on, I'm doing inside," and he's kept to that. And he's just like, "Fuck that! I did it once. We did it for real. Like, we built
He's so against filming new movies that he took old footage and made them into new movies. Like, they shall not grow old and the Get Back, the Beatles. He's like, fuck it.
No,
I'm going to take these old tapes
it.
and make them into a movie. I don't want to shoot anything.
I completely understand it. They built like small cities and shit to make Lord of the Rings, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, he's like, I've seen enough horses get killed.
Right.
Like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, broken enough actors' feet.
Yeah, I'm sitting in this chair, and you roll the computer over to me, and I'll make a movie on it, and that's that. And like, that's fine. He made Lord of the Rings. So I imagine when they come to them, they'll be like, "What do you want to like produce this? You want to slap your name on it?" He'll be like, "Yeah, just give me the money. It's fine." Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know, like, I don't give a fuck.
I'll do the thing for you. You're gonna,
Yeah, and like, I don't know why they're doing this. I really don't. What are they? They're gonna make it bigger. What are they gonna do? That like it's what they did. It. They made the thing.
Dave,
I mean, it's the same thing with they're making a fucking Harry Potter show.
Yeah, right.
Like it's anything they can squeeze
drop
out.
It. Rebranding as Max. These are all the decision of the same asshole.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. We have one stupid demon, just sort of like, here's what we're doing now.
That's really it. Yeah. Can you imagine like being a screenwriter and they're like, "We're giving you a bunch of money to make a new Lord of the Rings," and it's like you can't say no, but you want to. You want to say
like,
no.
Well, the thing that drives me crazy, and I know I've talked about this before, I'll just go through it real quickly, is we're in the age now where nothing goes away. Like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter have not gone away. Like they haven't gone anywhere. We won't let them
remember
go away.
Lord of the Rings? And it's like, yes, I watched it.
There was a fucking $1 million TV show last year, assholes.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
People rewatch them regularly. Like it's like there's a whole like, it's absurd.
There's this feeling of like they want more.
Yeah.
Where they're like, we have these properties.
They want a property that's going to be profitable forever.
Everything has to be Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Where they're like, and it's like, I don't know how to tell you this, folks, but like things end and then you get a new property. Like you just like, they won't stop. They're just sucking. Imagine if this happened in the 80s and like we were on 20 Back to the Future films, you know, where it's like,
God, I know.
It's that mentality. Or imagine if they were making like a new Indiana Jones. That would be wild. Yeah, and he's like old and he can't like really do anything. And it's like they clear CGI his face onto things. Can you imagine if they did something that silly?
Yeah. Just like they constantly churn out like Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah.
with like new cast that like has no like sense of wonder
Yeah.
that the first one did, and they're just like
Yeah.
churning out these weird action movies that happen to have dinosaurs in them.
Yep.
With the main character being played by a guy who got famous for being a parody of that kind of guy.
Yep. It just became a stone-faced version of the thing. Yeah, it's
Unreal. It's
embarrassing.
The actor, it's just like, what if like Burt Macklin was like real and in a movie and took himself seriously and wasn't funny? Awesome. Can't wait. God. Movies are bad, folks. Some of them
These
are good.
movies
Some
are
of
bad.
these-
Yeah.
Some of these are good movies. We love movies.
Lord of the Rings. I'm all set. I'm good.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies are bad, they're making a live action Bambi.
Yeah, they
Sarah
are.
Pauli's in talks for it.
Oh.
Sarah Pauli's great.
I know.
I
But she's-
listen. She'll take the money.
Mm-hmm.
She'll spend like a month on a CGI set doing like VR motion control
Mm-hmm.
of like, they're going to get fucking, they'll get an actor and have him walk around on all fours.
Yeah, talking
and,
to a
like,
tennis ball.
talking to a tennis ball, and they'll all get high every night and have a party, and then she'll get fucking $10 million hopefully, and then she can go make better things.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
That's one
Because-
hopes, yeah.
well, maybe she wants to
I
make
don't know,
that.
man.
The other thing is maybe she wants to make Bambi. We don't know.
Maybe
We
she
don't
wants to make
know
Bambi.
what goes through an
Maybe-
artist's mind. Like there's
Maybe she's like, I'm gonna devastate these kids.
Sure.
I mean, yeah,
It's
like
just-
there's a. Well, of all
I
the
don't want to. I don't want to
movies-
always assume the one for me, one for them on people.
That's fair.
There's a big discussion around like Greta Gerwig about the same thing. It's like, oh, she has to do Barbie because then after that she can do another small movie. So, well, how do you know she doesn't
Yeah.
want to do Barbie?
Barbie
Right.
feels like a labor of love.
Yeah.
Barbie feels
Yeah.
like, and maybe Bambi will be too. I just don't.
Right.
It's through the Disney machine.
Historically, this has not been the case with
Yeah,
with Disney
because-
specifically. Yeah. Yeah.
Even if Sarah Pauli is like, I have a great idea, I can't wait to do it. Disney's going to be like, okay, step over here. We're going to beat the happiness out of you, and you're going to churn out this fucking CGI monstrosity for us. Thank you.
Yeah,
Here's your
gonna
money.
get another Edgar
Like,
Wright situation, or like
Yeah.
when Tim Burton still made Dumbo, but he made it a movie about the main character shoveling elephant shit
yeah,
for a clear
exactly.
Disney analog.
Yeah. That's exact. Yeah, Tim Burton got away with something funny with Dumbo.
Wow.
So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I hope that they graphically blow the head off of a deer.
I hope the hunters are just as insane. That's like always.
Yeah.
That's always really bothered me watching Bambi. It's just like how unhinged they burn the entire forest down, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they do.
They're maniacs. In that
Yeah,
movie.
there's also I feel like there's a world where this might be one of the few like decent ones because there's a lot to say,
Right.
and
true,
you're
yeah.
not beholden necessarily to like, because like I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen Bambi, but like there's so many like in all these other ones, like, well, this is like this like 9 iconic songs in this thing that you're trying to recreate. I feel like there's like a little more openness to this. I don't know.
For the
I think you're
record,
right, yeah.
Bambi, the original, is 1 hour 9 minutes.
There's like
This is going to be 2.5 hours.
Right.
Like, you just know.
I
it.
wonder, like, obviously Jungle Book was still like a big blockbuster movie, but Jon Favreau with that one, I feel like it was kind of a similar situation where there is still reverence for the original Jungle Book, but he had a little bit more room to jazz, so there wasn't this like it didn't feel as bespoke as like Aladdin, Lion King, and Little Mermaid have to be. Like you were saying, they have to have all the songs. And like Bambi is really just 2 vignettes. It's about a young deer and his mom gets killed, and like, what does that mean? And then it's about like Bambi going through puberty and discovering girls, basically. And then the movie ends.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so you can do a lot there.
You can do a lot. I guess my one hope for it is that it's not extremely dark visually.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it like these movies just look like such shit.
They just look like mud.
And I just want a bright, colorful, live action Disney movie. Or I'll never see. I'm not going to see this fucking movie. So.
Yeah, even when we thought we were making them colorful, it's like, remember Oz the Great and Powerful by Sam Raimi or Jack the Giant Killer? Like, even those movies are are quote unquote colorful, and then you watch them, and you're like, why is everything tinted gray?
Yeah, they're still desaturated.
Yeah, like what are we doing?
It's the Dark Knight, man. It was the Dark Knight.
It was the Dark Knight. And it's like, holy shit, come on, man, you're making a kids movie.
Also, like,
what are you doing?
Why is James Franco in that movie?
Man,
I don't
there
know.
were a lot of questions about
he was the guy. That's such a weird choice. What the hell?
Because he was hanging out with Raimi on the set of Spider-Man. He was like, we should do something together. And Raimi was like, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll find something
I'll
for
shit something out.
Sure, you're a big star now, aren't you? And then flash forward 10 years later.
Yeah. Now I want to watch that shitty movie.
It's not good. We could watch it on a Friday.
No, we can. It's not good, like you said, but we can watch it.
Yeah, you can watch
It's the Wicked Witch origin story. Don't you want to know how she gets green? Don't you want to know how she'll become green?
Kinda.
They explain it.
Do they explain it?
Yeah. She turns green in that. I remember that.
She does, yeah.
Well, that's,
yeah, I don't remember how. I mean, maybe she just fell.
I think she gets wet.
Did she get jokered?
I think so. I can't quite. I can't. Man, I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in 10 years.
Yeah, there's a reason people haven't seen that movie in a while. Anyway, Bambi. I hope it's like Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that we hope that the new Bambi is like Oz the Great and Powerful, starring James Franco as Oz the Great and Powerful.
Starring James Franco as every single maniacal hunter.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking party of James Francos. And Sarah Polley will let's hopefully she'll make a biting movie about environmentalism and all this other stuff, and Disney will squeeze the life out of it.
Or I just hope she gets paid, like,
sure.
and like, and makes something and then moves on. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
I'm cool with that too.
I don't know. Yeah, I get
maybe
that.
It's just
You're
fun.
right.
Yeah.
Well, because again, like, I'm not going to see this movie. I didn't see the other movies.
It's not for us.
Like, it's not for us. Exactly.
Bambi has never been one of my favorites. That's a brutal watch for a kid.
Yeah.
And it's also
they're parasites. They're parasites of the forest.
That's the other thing is everybody remembers how devastating Bambi is in like the first act, but like the rest of the movie is boring.
Yeah.
So
they're bad. They're bad animals.
I didn't feel the need to revisit this one a bunch when I was a kid. It's it's gonna make me sad and then bored.
Exactly.
It's like Land Before Time, which I watched a bunch apparently as a kid, but I
love
know
Land
why.
Before Time.
Yeah, me too.
Land Before Time's not boring.
I always thought there was something done to me, and then I was talking to my parents. They're like, "You wanted to rent that every fucking week at the library." It's like, really? That movie's devastating.
They made Pat Hingle into a dinosaur.
They did. There's a lot to love there.
Mm-hmm.
We should watch Land Before Time.
We could.
And Bambi.
What we should do right now though is name some more producers.
All right. Fine. Big ol' thank you to Pete for Pagel. Thank you very much. Thank you to Numino Ultra Microscopic Silico Volcano Coniosis Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Jones. Thank you. Thank you to pre-order TikTok superstar Jason Parge's new book, Joey is Too Drunk for This Dystopia. Pre-orders are super important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to RevMD. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Rosemary's Baby from Eraserhead.
Thank you.
Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Thank you.
Thank you to Sorry Cop, world's most laughable centrist.
Thank you.
Thank you to Steven.
Thank you so much.
Steven. Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head. Thank you.
So convenient.
And thank you to the Midnight Patron. What patrons at midnight?
Yeah, baby,
thank you very much.
All right, let me swoop in here. Thank you to the Oatmeal Savage.
Thank you.
Thank you to the producer formerly known as the Ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank you.
The 2B Terror Bunny says to watch the Barbarian Brothers oeuvre.
Thank you.
Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tux.
Tux.
Thank you to Vincent with a Y.
Thank you.
Thank you to Why Don't You Take a Flying Fuck at the Moon?
Thank you.
Thank you to your mom.
Thank you.
And thank you to Ziz, because Pie Guy liked being last.
Thank you.
Dave.
The end.
Dave.
End of the show.
The day has grown long. The sun's dipping below the horizon.
Mm-hmm,
I can hear the fireflies whisper into each other. in the trees.
About how 9/11 didn't happen.
Right. About how fireflies can't melt steel beams.
Yeah.
So really all we need to know from you to close this evening out on a perfect note, this perfect summer evening, Dave, is do you have a movie that deserves more hype?
I do. I do.
You son of a bitch.
This is
I knew I could count on you, Dave.
Oh yeah, you can always count on Dave. One of these days I'll be like, I don't.
Yeah, one of these days you're just going to say no,
episode.
and I'm not going to know what to do.
Yeah, it'll all fall apart. Listen here. This is called Everyone Will Burn. It's out of Spain. It is coming out summer of this year. Don't know exactly when. It's about a small village where a woman is her son was bullied so hard that he took his life, and this woman is also going to take her life. But she runs into a little girl who shows up right before she's going to do it. I don't think it's a secret that this little girl is, I believe, the devil. That they make that pretty clear in all the synopses and everything. Or she's some sort of demon, and basically she joins with this girl. It's hard to tell, but I suspect this girl we're going to be rooting for this devil, because the movie seems to be about the Catholic Church and how they treat suicide and the shame and the idea of like this bullying and then like just being bullied some more by the church. And it feels like it's going to come down hard on that aspect of it, because it's just this little demon girl just like supernaturally murdering, just doing full on Damien shit to everybody. In the trailer, she makes a bully eat his fist and like he starts biting and bleeding into it. It's being compared to like movies like Carrie or the Babadook. So that gives you some idea that it's dealing with a bigger idea of grief, and with Carrie like bullying. And it just looks fucking gnarly. The trailer just looks gnarly, and it looks like it's some real demonic shit. And people seem to describe again that's dealing with these like heavy things while also like kind of rooting for a demon. Yeah, he highlighted the thing. Come prepared to laugh your head off is in one of the in one of the reviews.
We're clearly supposed to be rooting for the demon child here. This looks awesome.
Yeah, I think this looks like a lot of fun.
This looks like The Omen with like a little like more mischievous fun to it, because like The Omen's not a fun movie. That's like
The Omen. It's like the priest is killed, and we're like, oh no, and it's like, nah.
right.
Fuck that priest, man.
Fuck that guy. It feels like The Omen if we didn't like everybody that Damien was killing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if he was only giving it to people who deserved it.
Yeah, it feels like it's supposed to be about this small town with like really shitty religious fundamentalist groups that you're just like, again, like Carrie or something, where you're like, yeah, I'm not sad about what I'm seeing. Like, death is bad, sure, but like it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's watching Jason. It's just like, kill those teenagers.
Exactly. That's why you know why you're in this
cut
movie.
Their lives short. Yeah, exactly. But it's shot in a very like unique way, for sure. Like it looks very intense.
And that actually, as fun as we're making it sound, the trailer is not like fun in tone necessarily. Like I wonder how much of the laughter that some of these write-ups are preparing us for is going to be more conceptual, because the trailer is dead serious. In point of fact, it ends the shot that it ends on, kind of like the 3-beat shot that it ends on, is chilling.
Yes, the fire, the person on fire. Where you're like, Jesus Christ!
It's a good reveal. Yeah. Like it starts on the
bully
little girl
eating his fist.
Yeah, the bully eating his fist is also not handled like a gag. So I wonder how much of it is just going to be, after a while, we sort of get into the rhythm of, oh, she's fucking up people who have it coming.
I would say like a movie like Hereditary, like you can only see so many naked old people.
Right.
Like,
after where there's only so many like barely visible grinning nude old men that you can see hiding in the corner of a room before it starts to become kind of funny. Hereditary.
Funny in a way where you're like,
that freak.
I still remember being in the theater where the one shot
Where you can't quite see the mom.
Where he wakes up and you can't quite see her, and it's like 10 seconds in the theater of that shot, and then someone in the theater just went, Jesus Christ, like out of nowhere, because nobody had seen it right away. It was great. Yeah, this looks like a movie. It's not winking at you.
No.
It knows it's going to be fun, but it's taking itself seriously.
Right.
Cody, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I agree with everybody. It's a cool trailer. There are a lot of shots that don't necessarily fit the tone that I was expecting. It seems to make some swings, and the last shot in particular is very like, I was like, wait, what's going on? Wait, what's going on?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like a build,
Jesus.
and then the final bit is a reveal, like right at the end of the trailer. It's really well done.
Yeah, because the last shot is the girl looking at something burn, and she slowly starts smiling, and then it pulls out, and it's a person standing in the road just on fire.
You're hearing somebody scream hysterically while you're looking at the little girl, so you might assume that it's somebody's being burned, but then it cuts to this woman who's standing behind the girl, and she's the one screaming, and she's looking straight ahead at something, and we're like, oh shit, what is this?
Yeah, what the fuck is
then
going
you see
on? And it's someone. They're burning in a way where they shouldn't be standing. Where you're like, no, you're not going to be standing.
They're standing in a road. It's a state trooper standing in the road in front of them, fully engulfed, but also just standing there like the front of a Pink Floyd album.
Yeah.
It's wild. Watch the trailer.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it's called Everyone Will Burn. Which, again, implies that we're rooting for the little girl.
Yeah. And, not the only person on fire that we'll see in that movie.
Yes. Yeah. So it looks fun in the way that Hereditary is fun. It just looks fucking gnarly. I don't know. I'm very curious about it. So everybody check it out.
Yeah, man.
Do it.
Do it. And guys, I think that's a sode.
Yeah.
I think we did it.
Frothy sode.
And we came together and we made a thing. Congratulations to us all.
Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Cody, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. And for thanking you for being on the show.
Yeah. You want to say some stuff?
Tell
people things?
Hit your
Check
pluggies
it out.
again.
Share
What's
a secret.
going on? I will say that I have no secrets. Link to my stuff are on patreon.com/somemore news is where we have that, and YouTube and Twitter, and it's called Even More News is the podcast version. Some More News. Warmbo, I'm doing a bad job. Here's
Warmbo.
Okay, everybody, go back to the beginning of this episode and listen to my plugs then, because they went way more smoothly than
this.
Also, go check out The Flash.
Okay, yeah, everybody check out The Flash. Go torrent The Flash. Check out The Pirate Bay.
Is that still around?
Yeah.
No comment.
Oh man, Dave, tell him some stuff that hopefully is a little more legally
on the level. Yeah. Listen here, folks. What's our deal? We have a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You go on there, you pay just $5 a month. You get access to a bunch of exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder's Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys. We also watch movies every Friday night with our patrons and do a bunch of other things, custom We Just Watch podcasts, so on and so forth. Check it out. You'll love it. It's great.
Yeah. We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you'll find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on t-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, all sorts of things. So slap your little demon peepers onto that.
Yeah, your deepers.
Your deepers.
Slap your deepers.
That's your D's.
Tip your server, slap your deeper.
Yeah. Good ending. You're good.
Good job, everyone. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. You can find more of his artwork at instagram.com/mvbramleyart. Our episode artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.